Hello, welcome to this live stream. We will be talking about the trends for 2024 when it comes to your live streaming. And so before we do anything, please do let me know where you are watching from. And did you have a good New Year? Michael, it is great to see you in the comment section there. Yeah, how are things with you and where are you watching from, buddy? So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the 2024 live streaming landscape, what kind of trends are new, what's coming up, and kind of outdated practices as well, things that we shouldn't be doing that we kind of still doing there as well. So do jump in on the comment section anytime that you want. During this show, we go through some various different points, but again, it's very fluid and we like to kind of get you involved as much as possible. So please feel free to drop in a link to your live streaming channel in the comment section or your Facebook business page in the comment section. And it's always good to have a bit of a nose in, a bit of look what everybody else is doing as well. So we are live on Facebook, YouTube, in a group, and on LinkedIn as well. So do let me know whereabouts you are as well. Sunny Wiltshire, Stephen Healy, beautiful part of the world. I was actually in Cornwall during the summer and I drove past Devices. And I thought I may have to pop in and say hello. Gareth Boo is here as well. Fantastic coach that he is. Hopefully you check out his lives at first thing in the morning UK time. So it'd probably be just about, if you're in the US, you could probably just catch that on an early evening as you're probably going to bed. Gareth is a great live streamer as well. So let us know what your niche is as well. What is it that you live stream about? It's always interesting to figure out what people I've got going on. I'm in the midst of changing my studio up at the moment, so I'm playing around with lights. So it may, if the lights go dark, then we will understand what's going on there. But yeah, we're going to kind of go through and talk through the kind of 2024 landscape about kind of, you know, what's good for going live and what's not really. So let's get right into it. Basically, interactivity at its core. That's the most important thing for 2024. It is looking at kind of increasing that engagement. There's lots of stuff out there, such as the snake, the tip jar. There's stuff that we use at BeLive to increase engagement. But on all of the platforms now, that's what live streams are about. It's about increasing that the viewer's experience. So it's not just a one-way street. As lives have changed and evolved, and they really have since the pandemic. It's gone from people just kind of going live on their phone and that being okay to now kind of users, you know, their expectations are a lot higher and it's up to us to deliver that. So yeah, it is about kind of shifting the viewers' preferences and we're going to talk about the kind of key trends and the importance of those as well. Interactivity, absolutely at its core. And AI is having a massive impact in 2024 on live streaming, whether it comes to helping you produce the show, I wouldn't say scripting the shows as well. We'll touch on that in a few moments as well. But when it comes to kind of preparation, helping you understand your data, your analytics, all of those things, AI is going to have a massive impact on the personalization of your live streams. And if you notice how I spelt personalization there, I'm always, whenever I'm live streaming, I'm always conscious of kind of the American spellings versus the English spellings. So let me know which do you prefer? Which should I do for my audience? I like to do what my home game is, which is the English spelling. But you know, sometimes the odd Z does make its way in there. I found myself as well talking in Americanisms. So yeah, AI personalization. AI is taking the world by storm at the moment. And 2024, when it comes to live streaming, you're going to see lots of kind of AI integrations and things that are going to really change how that works. And what that means is the level of user experience is going to go up. Users' expectations are going to go up as well. If that makes sense, anything I say makes sense, let me know in the comment section. And if anything I say doesn't make sense, then please feel free to just, you know, jump in the comment section and let me know as well. What I talk about is from my experience from live streaming and from people that I work with and talk with about live streaming and what they're going through as well. But feel free to let me know your user experience. At the end of this show, we will have some Q&As as well. So if you have any questions, then feel free to drop those in. And obviously, this is BeLive. So, you know, if you're not already signed up, then please do click the link, sign up to BeLive. It's an amazing platform and very forward thinking. So let's get into it. One of the most important things for 2024, I believe, is going to be refreshing your live stream, kind of making sure, your content is not just up to date, but that you're up to date with it as well. I found myself, and it's exactly why I'm changing the studio. I mean, you can't see it here, but I've got a grass wall over there. I've got a white wall over there. You'll see there, we've just got a couple of nice green chairs and some ferns. It's about giving your users something a little bit different as well and letting them see the evolution of your stream. When you refresh your content, it gives your old audience something that they can kind of be involved in. They're part of that process as it evolves and grows. So do you as well. And they're along with you on that journey. It's easy to kind of, once you've got your battle station set up, it's easy to kind of go, right, that looks great. But just like your home needs redecorating after a certain amount of time, your studio does as well. And if the audience sees that evolution, it gets them involved. Content diversification, I think that is really important. Basically, introduce new topics, introduce new formats, Q&As. Olivier, hello, how are you, my good friend? Whereabouts are you again? Trying to think who is the furthest one away today. Wiltshire so far is the furthest away from me. Gareth's only down the road. So Olivia, I think you are definitely the furthest at this moment in time. Hopefully you are well and your journey is doing good. Diversification. Have different types of content that you're going live and live streaming about. A lot of people, especially with our phones, we can just do like the behind the scenes and doing that type of content. We're doing the content with BeLive in our studios from a desktop. Mix it up a little bit. I do a couple of shows now. One's a very interactive show. One's a live selling show. I like to do a behind the scenes show. Sunday mornings, you'll often see me going live, doing like a walk around show and talking to people, doing it that way. And I have a show that I do with my local community, which again is out in the town centre, doing it that way. Diversify your content. That way it keeps your users engaged. And 2024 is all about user engagement. That makes sense. Let me know again in that comment section. What type of show are you running at the moment? Do you do a behind the scenes? Adam Deal is in the comments as well. I'll mention him in a moment. Do you diversify your content? What are you doing? It's easy to get stuck in that same old rut of this is the show I've been doing for ages, but mix it up a bit. A great type of thing when it comes to diversification is collaboration and guest appearances. This is the thing that really helped me in my streaming business in the beginning days, interviewing other people in a similar niche to me. 2024 is going to be all about collaboration. It is a really great way. And do you know what? Not only does it bring new perspectives to your content, but it brings you new audience as well. You bring your guests' audience to it, and you would be shocked and surprised at the level of professional you can contact. Ask them to get on board on your podcast. That will absolutely do that. They really do love to collaborate. We're all, whatever niche, whatever business we're in now, we're all content creators first and foremost. Adam Richard just says, love collaboration tools on BeLive, bringing in guests and having them in the green room. It is great. It is a great thing. And you can really it's a great way of testing backstage. BeLive are awesome for that. During the pandemic, we did a business show where we're bringing on people from all different levels of technical experience. And it was easy to kind of bring them on. So yes, collaboration and guest experiences. And most importantly, regular feedback and adaptation. What that means is if you're doing a show and for whatever reason it's not working, now weirdly, consistency is key. So don't do 4 or 5 shows and think that's the number that you can measure it by. Regular feedback. Ask your audience what they want to hear. Ask them for feedback and adjust accordingly. Again, it's, you're working in your niche, that market, but it's always good to kind of get that feedback. So 2024 is going to be great for that. Measuring your data and adapting accordingly helps. After a while, the more data you've got, the more you can kind of look and kind of go, this is the time I should be going live. This is the type of content that my audience is looking for. And that's important. And you will find that, you know, a behind the scenes content works really well as alongside a more studio based stuff as well. It's not one or the other, a mixture of the two, and one can drive traffic to the other and really help you out on that one. So that is a big thing for next year. Now, I will say one thing that is absolutely important, and I'll pop it up on screen here as well, and that is the BeLive branding. BeLive enables you to really brand your show. And, you know, this is not a sales pitch, this is just a feature showcase. By doing so, you're really going to help, because in 2024, people's expectations of live stream shows now are so much higher. In the early days of live streaming, you could go live from your spare room and you could, you know, just get by doing it. Now, the type of shows that are coming out there, good lighting, good branding, you can really make it your own. And that helps you really level up and separate yourself from your competition. It helps grab the audience's attention and pull them in as well. And BeLive does that in a really great, simplistic way, but let me just kind of show you that as well. You'll see at the bottom, we've kind of got the agenda item popping up here in the brand colors. All those colors can be changed. This is great for that. But also what makes it really simple is you can add logos. Let's pop that one up there. Let's pop the BeLive logo up there as well. You can add logos, you can add overlays. I have a selection of different overlays for different shows. And what I love, and again, this is an extra feature, is you can have different templates in your studio. So for the different shows that you're doing, all of that branding is in there. But for a show that I do, that anyone that watches my shows will know, I mentioned Adam quite a lot. Adam did these fantastic overlays. So that's for the coffee and catch up that I do, which is a great wedding show. But the branding, look at that overlay with the drop shadow. It really kind of adds to that branding element. And that big shout out to Adam on that. Again, there's a live streaming show. This is my Amazon live sale show. Again, that overlay is just a transparent PNG that kind of helps me put that in the bottom corner there as well. You can really play around. Those overlays really make them your own. Here's what I do for a new show that I do. Again, really kind of bringing your branding in so your audience sees something visual, engaging, and it helps draw them in. And at the same time, it is constantly putting your branding out there for your brand awareness. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments section. Yeah, let me just pop that back off there as well. So yeah, so the BeLive in branding feature is absolutely awesome and very intuitive and very forward thinking. And if you're involved with BeLive, you'll know that. Let me just pop that up there as well. There is a link to BeLive, so you can sign up if you've not already signed up. Gareth says, what do you use to make these? Most of these overlays and graphics that I'm using in this show, these are done in Photoshop. You can do them in Canva. Anything that can create a PNG or a graphic can be used for that branding. And so if you want an overlay, you can literally, I mean, there is some inbuilt overlays which are all awesome. But if you want to make it more personal, you can just literally have a square around the outside of your colors, your logo, a little, you know, things that represent your brand. And as long as the center of it is transparent, you can use that as an overlay. It is really, really great. So Canva is a great tool for that. So hopefully that answers your question, Gareth. And yeah, for getting that branding in, it just helps deliver that message so much more easier. So the custom overlays and frames, again, like I say, they just help be more visually engaging. 2024, there's going to be so much more of a battle for your audience's attention. When they're doom scrolling through whatever platform that they're on, you want to be the one that pops out of the screen and grabs their attention and draws them in. Once you've got their attention, then it's up to you to deliver value and engage with your audience as best that you can. If that makes sense, let me know in the comment section. Maybe do a thumbs up emoji like Gareth's done there. That is awesome. Whilst we're just on features, and this is not a sales thing, and I've kind of pre-planned this. I've got Adam in the back room there. But one of the great features at the moment, and we're not going to go into this, it's just to show you what really helps with helping you deliver a more professional show, is you can allow people access to your studio as well now. Paulette's here as well. Olivier, oh, I love that. That's my favorite emoji today, actually. There we go. And here's the thing. There is the comment assist, which is great, but I could actually, if I wanted to, I've got Adam who's managing my studio at the moment. I could stand back here and he could bring the branding up on screen now. And then that means I can really add a different level of production. I can stand back here, I can talk, and look, all of this stuff is now happening because I've now got a studio manager in the back area of the show, adding to that. And look, he's having some fun with it. I am now worried he could be doing all sorts of stuff. But that really does help engage your audience to have someone else in there that could be doing all that stuff as well. But you don't need that. You can do it all by yourself as well. So yeah, those on-screen graphics and call to actions are really important because they do help capture your audience and bring them in. And Paulette, thank you very much. It's my Rupert the Bear jacket. I always, again, it's a fight for an audience's attention. When you are live and you're on whatever platform, you want people as they're scrolling through to go, oh, I'm going to unmute this. I'm going to see what this is. So I do like to have a little bit of a jacket, something different in the background, some LEDs back there. You don't need all of that. But for me, I think it helps. Again, it's adding that extra layer of production to engage your audience. So yeah, cool. Multi-platform streaming. This is so important now for like trying out new platforms. With Be Live, you can go live in all sorts of different places. Who's tried going live on Instagram Live yet? You did yours in your pajamas. I now need to go back and watch that. Now, are they Rupert the Bear pajamas, Gareth? I don't know. But yeah, again, what you wear on your stream is also another opportunity for you to kind of add some brand colors in there to bring it all in as well, which I have the purple lights at the background there. You need to get some. It could be when we talked about the different types of live streams, maybe you could have, GB in his PJs. That could be a whole stream there where people could ask Gareth questions whilst he's wearing his pajamas and now have a mental image that's just gone somewhere else. But yeah, absolutely. Any type of theme that you can interweave in your streams is going to help. But yeah, multi-platform streaming. Instagram Live at the moment is absolutely amazing. And here's where you've got a great opportunity. Like I said, let me know in the comment section if you have gone live on Instagram Live yet using Be Live. And if not, why not? Here's the thing. Most people that are going live on those platforms are just doing it, again, just from the phone, just doing it that way. This is an opportunity for you to stand out in 2024. It is an absolutely, Instagram and TikTok are very vibrant. And you're catching users exactly where they are on their phone. So that vertical content is absolutely key. Vertical streaming, the new vantage point. A lot of people are on their phones when they're looking at your content. If your content's not optimized for mobile, then you are missing out on your audience as well. There's a workaround to do that, but Be Live is predominantly a desktop-based platform because there's so many features in there. But you can do like I do with Adam. I will go live as a guest in my own show and have someone else managing the graphics and stuff like that. So that adds an extra level of production to your show. But yeah, there is some workarounds with that, but to get the most from it. But what you can do that is awesome is you can stream vertically now from within the Be Live studio. So that means if you're wanting to go on TikTok, if you're wanting to go on Instagram, you'll be going live in that vertical and play around with your graphics as well, because you can then set up your graphics with your overlays, with your logos. All of those things can then be done vertically, and that really adds a level of production that no one's doing just yet. 2024, we're going to see a lot more of that vertical production videos. Absolutely, Olivia. In your backstage area, next to all your different layout formats, you'll see the desktop and the mobile one. When you put it on the mobile one, when you go live on Instagram through the RTMP feed that Instagram Live puts out there now, or TikTok, it's automatically in that vertical format. Play around with it, because when it is vertical, you'll know there's different areas on the screen where you've kind of got the icons down the side and some text across the bottom where your comments appear. But then you can change your overlays in order to get the most out from that. Adam did some fantastic ones for me for the coffee and catch up, and they look fantastic. And what that means is it helps you stand out so much more in 2024, because your competitors and other people doing lives are just doing it without any of the production whatsoever. So it really does help you step out quicker in that kind of that. So yeah, Instagram Live, this is, it is an amazing platform, very much for creativity. Instagram pushes you out when you go live. And so it goes straight out to your audience and lets them know that you're going live. That really does help get those numbers up. We did a test a couple of weeks ago, and the numbers on that particular stream were like maybe 3 times more than what we would normally get. It was really good. And so, yeah, having that vertical on Instagram Live, it really just helps with that vantage point. It's not just about, broadcasting, it is about engaging with your audience, and Instagram is a great place for that as well. Is there a way around to live stream on TikTok in European Union from the BeLive show? Is it only for the US only? I still can't get the streaming key from my phone. I believe to get the streaming key, they have the Instagram Live producer software, which is only PC based at the moment. But you can play around with that and get your keys from that, if that makes sense. TikTok Live is, it is a stage for spontaneity. It's really an entertainment platform, but there's very much kind of educational stuff coming out there as well. And there is TikTok Shop. Live selling is going to be amazing in 2024. It was big in 2023, and the numbers on that are going through the roof. TikTok, I think, has over 1 billion users now, and TikTok sales is a massive thing. TikTok's gone crazy and is the source of so much content. Absolutely. TikTok did really well in pushing lives out there. And if you are going live on TikTok, you have to have 1,000 followers, I believe. It may have changed recently. I'm just going from when I kind of got that. But once you go live, again, it really pushes your stuff out to your new audience. So going live on Instagram Live and on TikTok is going to get you your new audiences, and is really going to be, it should be a tool that's in your business kind of toolkit at the moment. When we talked earlier about the diversifying of shows, have a TikTok show, have an Instagram Live show, have a weekly Q&A show, have an educational show, and all of these different things. Mix it up so you're giving your audience a plethora of stuff that they can really kind of get into. And it means if you've got 4 or 5 different formats going out there, you can find the one that works best for you and your audience. What is the kind of advantages of verticals? Well, it does it expands your audience with the vertical, but it does enhance that engagement as well. And that's what live streaming is all about. It's not about a monologue. It's not about me just coming on and listening through a load of things, even though I'm listening through a load of things. It's not just about that. It's about a conversation between 2 people, me and you, me trying to answer your questions, me trying to, entertain you, educate you, have a bit of fun with you. But most importantly, I'm trying to connect with you. And if I am connecting, let me know. It's always nice to know if you're making new friends. It feels unnatural now to see. Yeah, absolutely. And if your content's not formatted correctly for those platforms, given a choice between a content-rich thing and something that's not, something that's smaller, and you've got to adapt accordingly, you've got to flip yourself over, you're going to go for the easiest one and the one that's more engaging first and foremost. So make sure your content is formatted for those platforms when you're on them as well. Absolutely great point. And it's not a big job to turn your phone, but it is a big job to turn your phone when you don't have to. So yeah. Again, if that makes sense, let me know in the comment section. But what I will do is I'm going to put up another plug there. This is for BeLive. If you've not already signed up, there's always some great offers. I think there's like a free trial period or whatever else. Sign up to Be Live. Have a look how easy it is. And if you used to be on Be Live and you've not been here for a while, get back in there, have a play around, have a look at some of these amazing features and what they can do for you and your live streaming in 2024. Do that now. The link's in the comment section, making it nice and simple. And this does really do help you deliver your message on vertical and horizontal, wherever it is that you are going live. Let me know if that makes sense. Cool. Here's the bit that's interesting. Outdated practices. Let's have a poll. What do you think is what do you think are outdated practices? What are the things that you're seeing people do that that rubs you up the wrong way, that kind of gives you the ick, I believe they call it? What are the things that you don't like? I know for me, do you know what my biggest bugbear is? Let's play around with it. I like that. Should we do it the other way around? Let's do it that way. Oh, I like that as well. I do like messing around with this. One of my biggest icks is it is the one-way monologue. I tried OBS, but the lag was very bad. Fire Republic. The great thing with Be Live is it is cloud-based. So it's not resource heavy at all. OBS is very resource heavy. What's really interesting is if you really want to get special, you can actually use OBS with Be Live. But basically, all of the processing power that's going on is happening in the cloud, not on your computer. So because it's cloud-based, the lag is it's not there. It really means that you can put in stuff, you can add videos, you can do this, and it doesn't drain the resources of your computer. So it helps you keep your streams nice and fast, which I think is important, again, because when you're talking with an audience, you really want to make sure they're engaged with you, and nobody likes that kind of lag that's going on. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, OBS is very, very kind of resource heavy. Some of may not be ready for that. Possibly, Dan. Yeah, we'll rearrange those and make a sentence, I think. Yeah, Dan, another great live streamer. And again, a great way of getting news out to conference delegates is, again, by doing live streams, getting them in there. Oh, you have OBS as well? Yes. And how do you find that? Again, different tool, but how do you find OBS in comparison to Be Live? Yes. So yeah, so outdated practices, one-way monologues, very much an outdated practice. And for me, I also think it's a wasted opportunity when you see somebody going live, especially I see a lot of behind the scenes people doing this. They're going live and they're talking about their product or an event that they're at, because we do a lot of event stuff. When you are live, an audience are jumping on and asking questions and you don't respond to them. It's a missed opportunity to increase that engagement, to build that relationship. Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Again, that's because it's using the resources on your computer, whereas Be Live is using kind of the resources on the cloud. It's great technology. So one-way monologues, I just think it goes against what live streaming is. We could get by doing it, but now the expectation of our customers, our people watching our streams, is so much higher. We jump on a live because we want to be involved in it. We want to be able to steer the conversation of the live, to steer the conversation of the show, and it becomes immersive that way. 2024 is going to all be about immersion and kind of getting people involved, not just a one-way monologue. Hey, I'm going to tell you everything that I want you to know, not what you want to know. No danger in me with this one. Over-scripted content. Again, as we are being exposed to more and more live streamers, more and more content out there, over-scripted content can be off-putting for an audience. Don't want planning, having stuff ahead, having bullet points, that's all great, but don't over-script it, because when you over-script it, the problem that you have is you've got your agenda, not the agenda of your audience. And let's say you say something that really triggers and fires them up and it goes, actually, I need to know about this. Please, can you answer that? And you jump in. If your stuff's over-scripted, then it doesn't take into account that. I have notes, of course. And another great feature of BeLive is I have the agenda down the side of the screen, and I can bring that up as well. But over-scripted content, an audience doesn't want to listen to somebody reading a book. You know, if you're a great presenter, maybe you can get away with that. But having that element of making it human, making it authentic is fantastically important for 2024. Over-scripted content. And again, we touched on this earlier, ignoring mobile optimization. A lot of people are going, watching, consuming your content on their mobile phones. So be conscious of that when you are putting together overlays. Be conscious of that when you're putting stuff out there as well. If you're putting graphics on screen with text, don't have it text heavy. Think about what your audience is going through, how they're consuming your information, and then deliver it that way. Again, for the bigger shows, I like to be horizontal like this, but for smaller shows, going vertical and having the graphics, you know, optimized for that as well. And again, I have separate graphics for verticals versus horizontals. It just makes sense because what works on this format is not going to work on that. So, and again, BeLive looks after all of that. So that's great. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comment section as well. And like I said, do drop a link to your business page or where you go live in the comment section as well. And I think for furthest away at the moment, I think it's either got to be Dan or Paulette now. Michigan. So yeah, cool. So present tips. Tips for improvement. How can we get better? Swap these all. I like messing around and playing around with the formats as well. That's a great question, is that, Gareth? Can you change between horizontal and vertical midstream? I have not tried that. Again, because each show is tailored to that particular format, if you know what I mean. If it wasn't a stream for BeLive, I would try that. If it was one of my streams, I might try it on Sunday for Sunday sessions. I might try swapping that halfway through and seeing what the end user is. I do like to test things, test them until you break them, and then you know what you're working with. But yeah, I know it's just a button that's right in front of me. In fact, I can answer that question now. You cannot mix between two. So you set your orientation before going live. So there we go. That answers that, which makes sense because again, if you were watching on a vertical and all of a sudden it flipped to the horizontal, it's going to make it really small on the screen and it's going to be a bit confusing as you as an audience member. But great question. Yeah. So tips for improvement. It's got to be again fostering interaction. It's got to be engaging your audience, going where your audience is and finding what they want. Having your audience as co-creators of your content. That's what makes it special. And again, just like then when Gareth asks a question that I don't know the answer to, rather than kind of trying to fluff it, you know, it's great to be involved in that and figuring it out at that same moment where we both just learned something. So yeah, fostering that interaction. You can do this through all sorts of things. Q&A is a great way, obviously. But again, tools that BeLive has to increase that engagement is you have got things like the snake, the tip jar. All of these things help and encourage people to make comments. I'll bring the snake up now. We popped it up a little bit earlier. There we go, little widget snake. And the snake, you'll see that going around the outside of the edge of the screen. This just rewards people for commenting. So every time a new person comments, they go to the tip of the snake. A new commentator adds a new part of the body to the snake. And so it can get a bit competitive. I know Stephen, who was in the comments earlier, we always keep trying to get to kind of the head of that snake and beat each other on other people's live streams. It's a great way of doing that. And again, people get to see their profile pictures appear on screen. Again, it features that. Again, bringing the comments up on screen. These are all great ways of fostering that engagement and getting people coming through. There we go. And there we go, as if by magic. And beaten by Olivia there, Gareth. But exactly, these things just help increase that engagement. And it's a fun way of doing it as well. It's always difficult when you are presenting live, especially. You want to connect with your audience, and you don't want to be stood there going, please comment, please comment. But it's a great opportunity to get people commenting. And this is again for 2024. And the algorithm really does reward you for that engagement as well. Well done, Karen. Exactly. And so it really does. It does make it a fun thing to do. So yeah. Another thing for 2024 is embracing that authenticity. I think as we add more levels of production to our shows, it's also important to, on some sense, to not be over polished, to not be over scripted in order to really connect with your audience. It's one of the things that makes live streaming special. Have all of the branding and everything else. Is my background a real or a virtual one? It's a bit of both. It's a real background. Look, it is real. Don't judge me on the plant. Still got the price tag on there. That's how new the studio is. But the actual wall itself, it is a giant vinyl backdrop. So it's a fake real wall. Everyone always talks to me about my wall. But again, it's about setting up your space as well. And I like to have that depth there. But all these things help, again, they foster engagement from the audience as well. So yeah, thank you very much for your comment as well. We just pop the snake back off there as well. So yeah, optimizing for mobile, embracing authenticity is so important. Price tag is taken. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. On a slightly different note, but on that topic, I used to, they don't exist anymore. I used to use a subscription service that would send me clothes once a month. You try on what you want, and then you send back what you don't want. I'm not ashamed to say there was many times when I would try on the new jacket or the new jumper during a live stream, and then kind of go, no, it's not right, and then send it back. So there was a period a couple of years ago where you would just see me in different colored jumpers on every stream, but that was every month that would happen. So yeah, but that is cool. So just touching back on everything we said, 2024 is going to be about authentic communication. It's about live streaming with that kind of real emphasis on engagement and the consumer's experience during this. Like we said, make the consumer, the watcher, a co-creator in your content. Yeah. You can take the lad out of Salford, but not absolutely. You are absolutely right. And a boom from Dangoyet. Awesome. But yeah, so 2024 is all about, it's all going to be about live streaming. It's a great way of fostering and really reaching your audience. So if you have any questions, the things that the things that are kind of old hat is, monologues, kind of just being too pushy with your stuff without taking into account the audience. And what is the big positives for 2024 is really kind of embracing the technology. The AI is going to be massive. Use it for helping you get ideas for shows for your audience. Use it for improving your data analysis. Use it for content ideas. No, the virtual background on Be Live is pretty awesome. I don't know. See, we're going to do this whilst we're live. Cheers for this, Carlos. This is authentic because I don't know if this will work or not, so we will see. And so you can add backgrounds, but let's there we go. I'm back. So yeah, It couldn't remove my background at the moment, but that's probably because it's so dark. So yeah, that was a panic. There we go. That's the joys of being live. There we go. Back into 1080. So yes, that's authentic, isn't it? Just trying it on the fly. So yes, you don't need a green screen. It does do it normally, but maybe not so dark as what I've got at the moment. So Q&A, if you have any questions, now is your time. Please do drop them in the comment section. I will answer them as best as I can. This is a perfect, flawless. Olivia, well, thank you very much for your kind words. Yes, I think the imperfection is what makes it work. It's about being authentic. So yeah. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you found value in this, then please do let me know in the comment section as well. If you're watching this on the replay, then please put #replay, and I'll try and get into the comments as well. If you have any questions about being live or live streaming, then please do drop them in the comment section. It's always good to do. What are your tips on cameras to use? Best tip, I would say, is use the camera that you've got. And then play around with your lighting to improve that, and then keep playing around with it. I normally use my Canon M50 mirrorless. I'm not using that. I'm actually using a different camera at the moment because the mirrorless is set up somewhere else. And so just the best one that you can get. You don't have to go out and spend an absolute fortune. Again, when you are live streaming, the lighting will have more of an effect of the actual camera. So again, 1080, I wouldn't go 4K when you're live streaming just because, you know, we're not there yet. Most live streams, you know, people are consuming that information on their data or whilst they're mobile. So again, 720 or 1080. 1080 with Being Live is awesome. We should be in 1080 now, so you can see the bags under my eyes and everything. So yeah. Does that answer your question? The inbuilt camera on your computer or MacBook is always going to be what it is, and then a USB camera from that, and then you can start looking at kind of mirrorless or DSLRs. You can get so much more from a DSLR or a mirrorless just because of the different lenses. I love to have that shallow depth of field. It does make a difference. I use the QN from Zoom. Yeah, there is some awesome cameras. You can get some really great cheap cameras. You do not have to spend a fortune. Gareth, I know you're like me. We like to, you know, we like to get the best and then work backwards. But honestly, you know, I've done lives. Let me just, again, just to show that Tasha, this, I'm going to take it from what we're on now to my, and the best video card thing attached to the camera can be absolutely, absolutely. Don't use gear as a barrier to prevent you from going live. Just go live with what you've got. Allow your content and the platform to add that production, and then fine tune, because as you develop your stream, your audience will see those improvements. And I think in some levels, if you start where you are and then slowly improve, your audience sees that evolution and it brings them along with that journey with you. If you start perfect with all the best gear, but not necessarily the knowledge or experience, then there's nowhere for your audience to grow with you. You've just got to be good. Whereas if you start imperfect and then get better each and every time, your audience really believes in that. I'm going to swap cameras just because, you know, I like to challenge myself on this. So this is that. Let's go to the, this is the inbuilt camera. I don't know if my other camera's blocking that. Yeah, there we go. That's the inbuilt camera. Oh, I'll just pop down here. That's because that's the lens of my other camera. That's the inbuilt camera. Now, it's overexposed here just because the lighting is set for this camera, but I could adjust that and change that and make that work if I wanted to. But most importantly, as long as they can see you, there we go, pop back up. As long as they can see you, hear you clearly, all of the other stuff just adds extra. It just makes it nicer, it makes it better. You've got the ingredients, that's you. You're the ingredients to your cake. What we like to add is the icing to make it polished, to make it more engaging, to give you the tools to make that nice and simple. If that makes sense, let me know, and I'll quickly just pop that up there as well. That is a link to Be Live. If you don't use Be Live, click the link, give it a try. You've got nothing to lose, but trust me, it is awesome. And for when it comes to live sales, they've got some amazing tips for live sales. So that is me. If you have any questions, do let me know. This is your final call before I go finish off doing the studio. On a different note, I've got myself one of those height adjustable desk things. Because I always stand up when I stream, and I absolutely love it. So when I talk about moving my studio around, that's my new addition for that. And so the temptation to just press this button and watch the camera just move down is pretty cool. Thank you very much, Gareth. Thank you for everybody that's joined on the live, and for those watching on the replay, thank you very much as well. Please do let me know if you have enjoyed this, and if you've seen or received any value and any questions, please do get in touch. Guys, for me this week from Be Live, take care, happy streaming, and yeah, take care.